Hi everyone, my skin's all prepped, it's nice and tacky, and I'm just going to be starting my skin with Great Skin Foundation by Beauty Pie. This is a really lovely base. The shade I'm using is 300. Now, it's probably a little bit warmer for my complexion than I should be going, but I just feel I need a little bit of warmth. Not necessarily a darker shade, just a little bit more yellowy, just to take the greyness of my complexion, because I'm going to be doing a makeup of spring nudes. Nudie makeup, complimentary nudie makeup. I'm taking the makeup over my ears because this foundation is a nice medium coverage. It's a great dupe for something like Giorgio Armani luminous silk foundation, which is beautiful, and lots and lots of makeup artists use this, but this base is pretty good, I have to say, in comparison. I'm going for a slightly heavier base than I normally would, because the nudes, in my opinion, just need to sit on a lovely perfected skin, still glossy and shiny, but I just want to make my skin look a little bit more perfected than maybe it normally does, and I'm happy with that because I don't want to have a mask all the time. I don't think it suits me. I think it maybe ages me slightly, and it just looks too done. Sometimes I want to feel done and perfected, and today is one of those days. Now you can see that I put it on with a brush first, and I'm just dabbing now with my finger all over. It's the same colour, I haven't used a lighter colour just yet. And I'm just going over those areas that I need to, just because it just saves on product. You know, a lot of the beauty blenders that you use, and they are very good, very functional tools to spread makeup, but sometimes they can be a little bit greedy. And they will soak up your base and take it into the sponge, and when you clean it, it will go down the sink. At least this way you get as much foundation as possible onto your complexion and you don't waste anything. I'm assuming you all know about Beauty Pie and how it works and how brilliant it is. I've got many of their products actually. If you'd like to know more about Beauty Pie, I can explain in a new video. It's a membership process, and you get really great high-performing products at a fraction of the price, because there isn't the middleman involved. You don't go to a shop. They do great skincare as well. So if you'd like and you'd be interested in learning more about that, let me know. Anyway, today is all about nudes. Right, I'm happy with this coverage. I just need to remove a little bit off my mole, because that doesn't look nice when it's got makeup on it. I'm just going to lighten slightly under my eyes with Flower. This is the lightest shade. I believe it's Fair L12. And this is great, nice and long lasting, easy on the purse, effective. And it's a good coverage. You can see how much coverage that gives. And because I'm going for this sort of more perfected skin, I wanted something that had a little bit of welly behind it. And sometimes the light reflecting ones are gorgeous, especially in daylight. But sometimes you need a product that really gives you the coverage that you need and the longevity. So I'm just building this around my eyes and then blending it into the base. It is pouring with rain here, so I'm taking myself into my own little makeup dreamland, thinking of lovely ice cream, pastels, neutrals, sunny days, and soft perfected skin. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm going to finish there for now. I'm happy with that as it is. I'm going to be going in with, these are the kind of lovely shades I'm going to go for. Yes, they're pleasing, aren't they? Very nice. Okay, so two of those are for the lip, but I'm going to start with Electra, which is a beautiful cream blush that is slightly pinky, but again nudie. I'm going to stretch it over my cheekbone. And in fact now, it's interesting, isn't it? Sometimes when you put your base on, now tell you what I do have to be careful of. is leaving too much base just over my top lip. I'll just soften that side, that's better. Is that now the makeup has really settled into my skin, don't we need too much powder. So that's lovely. I love that soft hue, so delicate. And these creams last really well on the skin, I have to say. I love working in cream textures, but sometimes they're high maintenance and, you know, they don't last as long as you'd wish. But I checked my makeup at lunch the other day and I was like, oh, that's nice. My cheeks are still the same colour I created when I left for work this morning. So it's very hard to kind of get that longevity of a cream and the sheerness and translucency, but she seems to have nailed this formula. Okay, gorgeous. I'm going to add a little bit of light to my cheeks, and I'm going to be using Starlight from Trinity London, and just put that around here. I'm actually using the same finger that I used for the blush just to migrate the colours in and just put it underneath my brows. My brows are already done. It's just that my brows are quite difficult to do, and you've seen me do my brows a million times. And as I said, I'm trying to keep it speedy, informative and effective within the time that I have you. So yes, brows are already done. Now I'm going to go in with the eye now, and I'm going to use Lovers, but because I want it to be quite a sort of smoky look and I want it to last, these are beautiful and they're soft and they're sheer and they're wearable, but I just want it to be quite dense. So I'm going to start by applying my NARS primer, which I don't often because my eyelids aren't particularly oily, but for clients or for long studio days, I always start with a primer. And that absorbs any excess oil that's on the lid, and like the primer on the skin, on our skins that we use, it acts like a sort of gripper board, so it just enables the colour to adhere to something and just last a little bit longer. If you don't want to be doing that, just make sure you put lots of powder on first. But when you've got cream and you put cream on powder, unless the powder's really, really delicate, sometimes it can lift and you get in a right old muddle. So let me start. I am going to use a brush. I know the whole philosophy of the brand is, you know, it's finger painting, etc. But I just want to get a really nice, dense application of this on my eyes. I'm going to use the same colour all the way over my lid, mushing it into all the skin, and making sure that when I look in the mirror, it's not just isolated on my lid, and that you can see the hue of colour over the top. That's what's going to make my eye big. And this is my side of my face which is most collapsed, and this is my side that I sleep on mainly. So yeah, I need to make sure that I give that a little bit of a lift. And again, I'm just blending. Oh, can you hear the raindrops? Just blending that so that it just disperses beautifully into my socket. And on the other side. These colours are also great if you really want to boost an eyeshadow. For instance, you could then put this on as a base or as a primer, and then you could maybe put a little lighter colour on over the top. A rosy colour, a pinky colour, gold, anything would work, and it would just give shape to your eye as well, and just add a little bit of dimension, because you know the trends are very sort of holographic and multi-tonal at the moment, so you can play around with these sort of neutrals and sort of make them your own depending on what you're wearing, or maybe what piece of jewellery you've got. You could pick up a colour in an eyeshadow palette and just add this over the top, which would be quite pretty. In fact, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll add a little bit of pink over the top, but I'll have to get something out of my kit because I'm not prepared. These things happen organically sometimes, don't they? Okay, so now I'm going to take a Charlotte Tilbury. It's one of my favourite pencils because it's really, really soft. And I'm going to use this in my waterline. Now, it's tricky, isn't it, to get it into your waterline? It is practice, but it does make a really big difference. I'm not going to use black because I just want to keep it soft. Yeah, I'm going to just underline it too, just in this area here. If you can see the difference, it just really makes your eye area pin sharp, just kind of makes it in focus and just tightens up the whole look. Go in again. Sometimes if you've got a kohl pencil that isn't so giving of pigment at the waterline, sometimes it can be quite scratchy. Just warm it up. Warm it up with a hairdryer and then put it in your eye, because then you'll find that you'll get a little bit more kohl on your waterline without having to scratch your eye. This one and the Stila pencils and the MAC Feline are really beautiful soft kohl pencils. Now I've got that in, I'm just going to use the tip of this brush. This is by Kit Starts. It's an S32 shader. I'm going to sort of mix and migrate the kohl into the cream eyeshadow, just because I want to kind of get that really soft hue, not too much shape, not too much hardness around my eye, because it's delicate. And just mix that together. We can come back and add a little bit more towards the end of the makeup, because what you find is when you open and close your eyes, sometimes the pigment can migrate down into your lashes, but that's great because then the lashes get more definition. Right, Scandalise Wow Wings by Rimmel. This is a lovely formula. Look at that. A really great formula that just throws the mascara onto the lashes quickly. The marketing behind this is that it wings it out, but to be honest, it's how you apply it. But I just like lots of mascara on lashes, even with something soft like this. But that's just my taste, not everyone likes it. If I was doing an editorial like this for a magazine, I probably wouldn't use any mascara, funnily enough, because when you're doing something on print, if you use too much mascara, it takes away, because it draws attention to the eyes. So it takes away from the beautiful colour palette that you've painted on the model, for instance. So you probably sort of stay away from a heavy brow or a heavy lash, just so you can see the makeup and then the features become your canvas. Funny, isn't it, the balance? But for everyday beauty and bringing out the best of our features, I can't recommend mascara enough. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money on mascara, you don't need to these days. Just touching up my brow here, this is It Cosmetics. This is just a very classic shade. I'm not sure they've got too many shades. It's called Universal Taupe. I love It Cosmetics. I love the CC Plus base. Yeah, I'm just going to use that there just to tidy up that little tail. I'm going to start, I keep saying it, I don't know why I'm not doing it. It's ridiculous really, it's not that much effort, but I'm going to start using some Rapid Brow on my brows just to boost them a little bit, getting a bit sparse. Okay, so let's just go back and really push a little bit more of this lovely product just into the socket and just boost that just slightly. Creams are always great for layering, because once you've got that nice base on your eye, it then dries, and then if you add again, it just adds another level. Look, just another level of pigment, which again opens out your eyes, but it's still really soft and sheer. So I'm just using that same blender brush, just building it into the outside. And because it's got a beveled edge, this brush, this is 231 Petite Crease brush. Okay, so I'm just going to let that migrate and do its thing. We can come back to that a little bit later, but I love how soft and delicate that looks. Okay, so my blush has faded a little bit, so I'm just going to go in a little bit there and do exactly what I did with the eyeshadow. Just give that another little layer. Just a nice hue of colour. Now I'm going to use a little bit of Nude by Nature. This is vegan, natural, organic range, and it's got a really lovely powder. It's a translucent powder, but the dispenser is really nice because it's got this sieve applicator here, so it makes it really easy to use translucent powder without spilling it in your makeup bag. I'm just going to use it just to set in those areas of my face. I just feel happier if between my brow and my nose and my chin is settled. I really don't need any powder anywhere else. I just prefer that just to be nice and light. So just to finish off, we're going to be using Tashi. This is one of Trini's colours again. I'm going to go straight in with the lip brush because I want a good density of colour. She's nice. That's very decadent. That's a beautiful nude. Creamy. Enough pink not to drain my lips. So naturally my lips are quite pale. So if I went paler than this, I would look a little bit poorly, I think. And I really wouldn't be able to carry off this lip if my skin wasn't perfected, because all my imperfections would really start screaming on my face. It just wouldn't be flattering. If you've got multi-tones in your skin, as you know, maybe like a bit pigmentation, a little bit pink, or an even skin tone, whatever it might be, if you're less than perfect and you put a nude on it, it just looks like putty, I think. So I'm using this brush just to really push that colour out. It makes me melt. You know what it's also telling me? Is that my cheeks aren't strong enough. So I might use Trini's Luxe lip colour on my cheeks as well. Because why not? No rules. Oh, that colour does things to me. You know, in the nicest sort of possible way. It makes me feel joyful. That's great. See the difference there? It just picks it up. It just needed that little bit of balance. And sometimes it's so important to have that playtime with makeup just to bring it up to the same shape, just to add it within that colour palette there. That's lovely. It's nice red carpet colour for cheeks as well, because it just gives definition without screaming too much. Now I was going to put one of the glosses on top, Maddie. This is a lip glow. Oh, see, look, I should have probably put that on my cheeks. Oh no, here we go. Let's just see. No, that's just going to add a little bit of gloss. There's not enough pigment in the lip glows for the cheeks. That's fine. I can just add a little bit of glow. But, oh, let's put it on, but no, I actually just love that. Sorry, Maddie, you're not part of this look. I'm really loving Tashi. Tashi is a really beautiful, pleasurable nude. Again, the texture is lovely. It feels comfortable. I don't feel it's going to move. I feel that it's beautified my lips in a sort of natural way. Yeah. I think I'm happy with that. God, my eyebrows. Let me just touch these up just slightly more here. I need to lift them again. They are very needy. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay, gorgeous. Just one last thing. A little bit more light just on my nose. And just there. But it just shows you, doesn't it, especially where I'm not familiar with these products, how you do need playtime. So I think, you know, it's lovely to be able to order online and stuff because it makes everything very accessible. It's also nice to go and play. So if you do live near a shop that sells the Trini makeup, it's nice to go and see well, how other people see your faces. I guess that's just having a makeup artist. And no, this is not a sponsored post. Trini hasn't paid me at all. As you know, I do very, very little sponsored posts. I just talk about what I love. And yeah, I hope you love this look. I really like it, and it's just a grouping of beautiful nudes together, evening out your complexion and just decorating your features so they just look feminine and beautiful. I hope you can get a little bit of inspiration from this makeup, and I hope you enjoy painting your face in similar colours. Anyway, as usual, I look forward to all your lovely comments below. You're so blooming nice. Thank you very much. See you soon.